this is Homer, lost at sea, destroying his only means of survival.
This is the real thing!
And this is Homer destroying all of Springfield.
You stupid son of a...
If it ain't broke, Homer's gonna break it. So follow along as we look at all the damage he's caused Springfield over the years, and if the town's gonna go bankrupt fixing his many, many messes. For starters, the least awful thing Homer has done to the town is set fire to a church. It all started with an innocent bit of father-son bonding.
You're about to break the surly bonds of gravity. 5, 3, 2, 1.
Like a lot of things Homer gets involved with, things start to go pretty bad pretty fast, and the rocket starts to veer off course. But never fear, Homer is here.
Now it's heading for the church.
I planned for this.
This is the worst thing you've ever done.
Big oof. They're looking at a few million to fix that extensive fire damage and replace those stained glass windows. But like I said, it gets even worse from here. In the episode E Pluribus Wigum, Homer disposes his trash wrong. I promise you it's much worse than it actually sounds.
Dispose of proper. Now for a victory cigar. Thank you.
Hold on just one second. I gotta ask. Who in their right mind throws a lit match in a garbage bin? Best case scenario, you start a fire. Worst case scenario, in the episode, the 37 restaurants are destroyed in the explosion. Obviously, I can't exactly tell how much each one is worth, so we're just gonna use average real estate costs in Springfield, Ohio, which happens to be $174,000. I know, different Springfield, sue me. Turns out improper waste disposal is a pretty strong theme in The Simpsons, and is the catalyst for some of their most destructive episodes. Take the Simpsons movie, for example. I know the movie doesn't count. Does the movie count as an episode? Anyway, the town gets together, puts a little bit of elbow grease in, and after a whole lot of effort, clean up Lake Springfield. They even make it idiot-proof.
Why do you dump something in the lake?
Okay. I simply can't.
Very effective.
It might have made it idiot-proof, but they sure didn't make it Homer-proof. They really should have too, because on his way to dispose of his silo filled to the brim with pig crap, he gets distracted.
The health inspector just shut down the donut store and they're giving out free donuts.
I just got one thing I gotta do first.
They're going fast.
The allure of free donuts was simply too strong for this man to ignore, so he chose to abandon disposing of his toxic pig waste properly and took a quick detour to the freshly cleaned lake. Unfortunately for the entire population of Springfield, this lake couldn't take one more act of illegal dumping.
Drive!
Lake Springfield is well and truly screwed, and that's pretty much the catalyst for the rest of the movie. The contamination's so bad the town gets domed, everyone almost starves to death, and yada yada yada. The important part is the decontamination. Cleaning up that lake is gonna cost a pretty penny, as it did before. And they do clean up the lake, it's back to its mildly toxic state in later episodes. So how much did this cleanup cost? Well, let's compare Lake Springfield to the real-life Lake Apopka in Florida. A lake that experienced decades of agricultural runoff, industrial waste, and ecological damage. I think you can see the similarities. Well, it costs $200 to clean that one up, just like it's gonna cost Springfield. Next is the third time poorly dumped waste got Springfield into some financial trouble. It's the episode Trash of the Titans. The one where Homer picked a fight with the garbage men and it went great.
You guys are the lousiest garbage men ever! You trash-eating stink bags!
What did you call us? Yeah, you called us trash-eating stink bags.
I got in a fight with the garbage men and they're cutting off our service.
Well, great for the garbage men at least. Instead of apologizing to them, Homer decides to start a war. All right, fine, you want to fight with the sanitation people? Valid. But please tell me why they just start throwing their trash everywhere. It's like a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie out there.
3, 1. Go, go.
Oh, the rats seem happy.
Homer takes his feud to the next level and decides to run for the post of sanitation commissioner, an election he wins because the people of Springfield are just about as brain dead as Homer is. Of course, Homer is terrible at his new job, and in just 1 month his department is broke, so he comes up with a genuinely insane plan to fix his money problems.
Get that beautiful garbage. They pay me to dump it in this old abandoned mine.
You're turning our wonderful little town into America's trash hole.
Ixnay on the asshole tray.
Dumping everyone else's trash in Springfield turned out to be exactly as stupid an idea as it sounds. Forget about contaminated groundwater. They stuffed Springfield with so much trash it won't even stay in the ground.
What the hell is that? You were saying how great I was? Term paper from Texas Tech? Do you know anything about?
The town is screwed, it's a garbage apocalypse, and trash is pouring out of every orifice out there. So they come up with a solution about as insane as electing Homer Simpson in the first place, picking up the whole town and moving it SpongeBob Alaskan bullworm style.
I can't believe it's come to this. Moving the whole town 5 miles down the road. It's crazy.
Something all right. If you need me, I'll be at Moe's. Hi, Mo.
Hey, Homer.
They left the old Springfield as nothing but a steaming trash pile. Calculating the sheer cost of moving the whole town almost gave me a fucking headache. You can move buildings, but moving a building costs anywhere from 15 grand to 200 grand, depending on the size of the building and other complications I'm not even gonna mention because I don't even really know. I'm gonna keep it on the high end because there are a few sizable buildings that cost way more than 200K to move or at least relocate, like the nuclear power plant or Mr. Burns' mansion for 2. And then there's just the sheer number of buildings to move. After considering Springfield's population of roughly 40,000 people and trends in the number of residential and non-residential buildings in American small towns, I estimate about 1,700 buildings in Springfield in total. So that'll chalk up to about $340 million to do, spent not cleaning up their town, but moving it 5 miles down the road. Yeah, I'm starting to see why they thought voting for Homer was a good idea. If you think that's bad though, I haven't even gotten to the kind of damage Homer does at work. I don't think anyone would disagree with me if I said Homer was bad at his job. He's like the last man that should be in charge of anyone's safety. Just ask his coworkers.
What is his job?
Safety inspector?
A man who by all rights should have been killed dozens of times by now?
Yeah, it shouldn't exactly surprise you when I tell you that this man has been at least partially responsible for a few partial meltdowns and at least one actual meltdown, kinda. Being the safety inspector and all, there really should be no emergencies under his watch. Those cost a lot of money, but that hasn't stopped Homer from sleeping on the job, for example.
Core meltdown in 10 seconds. 8. Meltdown averted. Good boy.
Dude don't even know he almost wiped out an entire town. You can almost excuse this one though. I call this partial meltdown an accident. This next one, however, is just Homer being peak terrible at his job. And of course it starts with Homer eating where he really shouldn't.
Ugh, cherry. Custard purple.
You might have noticed the dial warning that the core temperature was getting dangerously hot. Oh, you know who didn't notice? The guy whose job it is to stop an entire town from getting vaporized in an instant. After inhaling a whole box of donuts, he just goes right back to sleep. You can probably guess what happened next.
Huh? Bad noise.
5 minutes before critical mass.
Critical what? Whatever problem this is, I'm sure they know how to handle it. Huh? Ah, we're doomed!
Slated.
Homer is, to put it charitably, a frackin' idiot. But unfortunately, he's an idiot stationed at a very important position. With the fates of thousands in his hands, what does he do?
Pick a button, pick a button. No, 1 potato, 2 potatoes. Bubblegum in a dish. How many pieces do you wish?
30 seconds to core meltdown.
Come on, Homer, the dog could do it. Might as well eeny, meeny, miny, mo your way out of this one. I know it's what I'd do.
15 seconds to core meltdown.
Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Whoa.
All systems returning to normal. Have a nice day.
The sheer luck at this man. Sure, he caused unimaginable amounts of damage, but at least nobody died. After saving the town from complete annihilation, Homer is heralded as a hero. He gets a ham, a plaque, a coupon book, and
Thumbs up.
I couldn't even give him 2 thumbs up, huh? Not the greatest gift for saving everyone's lives, but Homer don't mind. He's too busy racked with guilt because everyone keeps calling him a hero, even though it was all his accident that he accidentally solved. But don't worry, he gets exposed as a fraud when he has to save a different plant from a meltdown.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Go, eeny, meeny, miny.
Crisis has been averted. Everything is super.
Do you even know what button you push?
Sure, Mo.
Hey, at least this one wasn't his fault. Side note, apart from the meltdowns, it's a miracle this man has stayed employed, considering the sheer amount of damage he's done to the place, especially to his workstation. In the episode Bart on the Road, Bart goes on the road. More like he uses a fake driver's license, takes a car, and ends up stranded in Knoxville. The look on Homer's face when he finds out gets me every time. Homer offers to fly Bart home, but Lisa doesn't want him to know that she's tattled, so Homer comes up with the next best idea. He's gonna order something, and Bart can deliver it along with his friends back to Springfield, but what can he order that's large enough to fit 3 children?
We need to order a T437 safety command console.
The computer shows your T437 is fully operational.
Oh, my God. Oh, God, no. Oh, this can't be happening. Sweet mother of mercy, I mean.
Have it sent care of Langdon Auger.
Now, I'm no nuclear technician, but the internet tells me a high-tech machine like that coordinating the safety of a massive nuclear facility should go for about up to $20 million. Obviously, this isn't the only time Homer has abused this incredibly expensive piece of hardware. Just look at how he handles an emergency.
You got a 513. A 513. Look at your control panel.
Oh, 513. That got it.
Literally, how is this man still employed? Frank Grimes had a point. You know what? No, I got one better. How is this man still getting promotions? Especially when he does stuff like this at work.
I work hard for the money. Oh, I something money. Come on, give me lots.
Now there's an employee, Smithies. Promote him.
To be fair, he was just slacking off. Didn't mean to set the place on fire. It was kind of an accident. Can't say the same about this next one, though. In the episode Homer Goes to College, government inspectors show up to make sure Springfield's power plant is up to code. It isn't. The place is clearly falling apart. Hell, it's a miracle they're nuclearing any energy there. Part of the government inspection involves accessing the safety inspector. That's Homer, by the way.
This is an exact replica of your workstation. Going to simulate a power surge in core sector 8.
What do I do? What do I do? God, you've got to tell me.
Relax.
How did he fold under zero pressure? It's literally his job. And a simulation. Panicking, Homer employs his tried and tested methods.
Nothing can go wrong. Oh, no, this can't be happening.
But it's a simulation. How did he mess things up that badly? This isn't just incompetence. Is there something worse? We're dealing with violent ineptitude.
Ooh, lunchtime.
We're still not sure how he caused the meltdown. There wasn't any nuclear material in the truck.
I mean, it wasn't a real meltdown, I guess. He did ruin that incredibly high-tech van in that parking lot, but he's not gonna have to pay $500 million for this one. I think Homer can't help but just be terrible at his job. In the episode King-Sized Homer, when he worked from home, he was still terrible at his job. Quick bit of context here. In this episode, Homer ate a bunch of food so he'd weigh 315 pounds. He did it so he'd be classified as disabled and he could work from home. You can almost see where he's coming from. I mean, he thought working from home would be like this.
Here's your lemonade, and here's your beer. When's your next coffee break?
It doesn't go like that most of the time. Instead, he's massively overweight, dressed in a muumuu, and nobody's happy about it. Oh, and he still sucks at his job, by the way.
Vent radioactive gas, decalcify calcium ducts. Hey, Miss doesn't find me attractive sexually anymore. I just tripled my productivity.
Good for you.
He's gotten everything he wants, mostly. Now all he has to do is sit there and press Y to vent the radioactive gas, Stanley Parable style, but he can't even be bothered to do that. He leaves this toy duck in his place and goes out to watch a movie. By the time he gets back, things have gotten pretty dire.
My God, the plant's going to explode.
Hey, that thing's going caca-cuckoo.
I know. Vent gas. Tank must be shut down manually. I never should have put you in charge.
To be fair, Homer might be lazy, but when lives are at stake, I mean, the dude steps up, he tries to. Homer runs outside, steals an ice cream truck, heads straight to the plant to perform a manual override.
Please, there'll be time for the frozen pudding wagon later.
I gotta get to the tank.
manual override switch is placed at just the most hilarious of locations, so we got this 300-pound man tight roping a ladder. Is he gonna make it?
Stupid switch! I wish I had my reaching broom. Wait a minute.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the episode Homer died. Or at least he shoulda. Turns out being a massive tub of lard has a few benefits.
Your bravery and quick thinking have turned a potential Chernobyl into a 3 Mile Island.
I think it's ironic that Dad saved the day.
We'll have you out of there as soon as our tech boys get you decontaminated.
How much is this one gonna cost? Well, you clearly heard Burns equate this nuclear emergency to 3 Mile Island, a partial nuclear meltdown back in 1979 that cost approximately $2 billion to handle. Imagine being so bad at your job that you cost someone $2 billion. But if you think that's the worst damage Homer has wrought on Springfield, I bring you the Family Guy Simpsons crossover. And if you remember from our Peter version of this episode, we kinda already covered this one. Specifically the part where Homer and Peter get into a fight. They punch each other all the way to the Springfield nuclear power plant. Up until now, he's been damaging this place with sheer incompetence. This time, he's here to lay the schmack down with a purpose. And I don't think either of these men can even spell collateral damage, much less avoid it. Surprise, surprise, another partial meltdown, and this one looks way worse than the last one. Judging by the shoddy build quality of this place, it's no wonder it's constantly on the brink of exploding. And what's with the giant vat of nuclear waste just lying out in the open, by the way? Well, it doesn't kill them. You know what they say, what doesn't kill you just makes you green. That blast definitely took out at least 30 buildings. Once again, I'll be using the average real estate value in Springfield, Ohio. Don't like it? Go ahead and comment down below where the town of Springfield actually is. You can't. Before the fight ends, Homer and Peter do a little bit more damage. Fight ends with Homer getting crushed by a flying saucer, surviving that somehow, and Homer and Peter just making up.
I just wanted to make you laugh and cry. I'm a family guy.
I understand. I'm the Simpsons.
Yeah, these two are really made for each other, huh? Well, that was a wild ride. So just how much damage has Homer done to this small town anyway? Well, after some quick maths, I've got about $5,595,738,930. Oh, indeed. Springfield about to take more of a beating. I used some very scientific methods to figure out the GDP of the fictional town of Springfield, and I've come to the conclusion that this town makes about $3.2 billion per year. So after Homer's antics, I officially declare Springfield bankrupt. But hey, if that sounds wild to you, then you need to click the link on the screen right now, because believe me when I say there's a lot worse out there than Homer Simpson.